Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'll be talking about a particular topic that I said I wanted to talk about. I made a short clip on my TikTok page. I'm very sure I spoke about landing costs and how you can run a pre-order business without losing money. This particular video, this particular calculation today is also going to help in your personal business as long as you're running a business that involves you buying and you selling. Whether it's a pre-order business or a procurement business, whatsoever, is going to revolve around landing costs. So I'm going to do landing costs as the general topic to cover both the pre-order and the normal business, so you can know how to apply it on both maybe your pre-order business or your normal day-to-day business. What is landing cost? Landing cost is just the total amount of money that was spent from you buying the product from your supplier to the destination that product is going to. It means if the product is coming to Kaduna and I'm buying it from Lagos, I have to calculate how much I got from the supplier, then write that out. Let's say I want to start up a nightwear business. I buy a dozen of nightwear for 40,000 naira, logistics for 5,000 naira, pickup for 3,000 naira, packaging for 800 naira. Now, how do I calculate my packaging? I calculate the entire amount of money I use in buying the nylon I will use to package it, and just calculate how much it will cost per piece and calculate how much it will cost for 12 pieces, since 12 pieces make a dozen. So the first thing you want to do since you're a starter is just to sum up all of this. There's actually a formula to calculate this, but let me not stress you too much. The total here is 48,800 naira. That is the amount of money you spent in buying, in doing logistics, in going for pickup, and also in the packaging material. So you're going to divide this by 12 since you bought a dozen of nightwear, and know how much you actually bought that dozen of nightwear, because this is what is going to determine how much you actually bought that dozen of nightwear. You cannot be doing your profit calculation based on this 40,000 up here. So let's calculate how much you actually bought your nightwear. So when you divide this by 12, it's going to give you 4066.66, I guess. So you're just going to approximate it and make it 4067. That is the amount you actually got one piece of nightwear, instead of getting one piece of nightwear for, let me do 40,000 divided by 12. The amount you use in buying it from your supplier is going to be 40 divided by 12, which you are getting a piece for 3,333 naira. If you calculate how to do your profit margin from this 3,333 naira, you can see the distance is much. It's almost like 600 and something naira. You're already running at loss. So let's calculate our profit with this, and let's calculate our profit with this. So we're going to name the first person who is using the calculation of a supplier to calculate her profit margin as Toke. Then the next person who is actually using the calculation of a landing cost to calculate her profit margin. Toke wants to sell for 6,500 naira because she feels she got it cheaper. Janet wants to sell for 7,000 naira because she feels she got it the amount she got it. Now, everybody has different profit margin. In fashion, you can do 40 to 60%. In fact, you can do 3x. You can do up to 100% in fashion, especially luxury. In e-commerce, you can do 30 to 40% or 30 to 50% thereabouts. In dropshipping business, you can do 10 to 20 or 30%, depending on what products you're dropshipping. But sometimes I feel like as a small business owner in Nigeria, we struggle around 10 to 15%, or sometimes at most 20%. Now, this is because of all this logistics calculation. By the time you calculate logistics, how much you went to pick up, you just know that if you put an outrageous price on it, there are some products that actually have like a price range that they sell them. So if you're selling the same product, same quality, at a very crazy amount, I don't even want to talk about that. Probably we'll talk about that in another video. Your profit margin is not my business. Let's focus on this. So let's do Toke and know how much Toke is making a profit. It's very simple. I told you there are formulas to this thing, but we're not using formula. We're just trying to make it simple for you. Much later, maybe we might be doing the formula to calculate it better. So we're just doing 65 minus 3333. And we're also doing 7,000 minus 4067. That's 4,067 naira. So Toke is getting a profit of 3,167 naira, assumed profit. Then Janet is getting a profit of 2,933 naira. If I may ask you, who is making more profit? You'll be quick to say Janet is making more profit because the amount of money she's making a profit is 3,167 naira. And you'll say Janet is running at loss because, or rather, she's not even running at loss. She's making less profit because her profit is 2,933 naira. Now, I want to drag you back a little bit. Toke's account is already running in minus. So let's find out what minus is she running in. Here we have all positive marks because she calculated her profit from her landing cost. We're just going to do 4,067 naira, which is the landing cost, minus the assumed cost she got it from her supplier. So here is 4067 minus 333, that's 4067 naira minus 3333 naira. She's running a minus of, I don't want to write minus here, sorry about that. She's running a minus of 734 naira. So now let's minus 734 naira from this her assumed profit. So this is actually the amount Toke is making in profit, 2,433 naira. Then what's her name? Janet is making the profit of 2,933 naira because she calculated her profit margin from the landing cost. My marker ink has gone. Now let's now relate this to pre-order. So you're getting a product from your said supplier at 10 RMB. So most times what I do is, if the MOQ of that product is 1, I do calculation for 2. If the MOQ of the product is 3, I do calculation for 3. The MOQ of the product is 4, I do calculation of 4. Let's do it in naira. If the product is 10,000 naira and the MOQ is 2, so you're going to do calculation for just 2 products, just in case if you do not get orders that are more than 2. In most cases, the more the order, the lesser the price, you get it. But you do calculation for 2 so you don't run at loss, since that's the MOQ of that particular supplier. And most times I go for suppliers that don't really have plenty MOQ, so that I can just now calculate this thing. In some cases, it might be more pricey than what you see from other vendors. That's because they did their calculation based on like high orders. They already know their target market and they already know the number of people they are controlling, so they know that these people will be able to beat up to the MOQ. So if you don't know that, like me, that I'm not sure that my people might be able to beat that MOQ, because I don't even like to stress myself, I calculate for the exact MOQ the supplier is giving me. So if the freight is 2,000 naira, I'm adding 10,000 to 2,000 naira, that's going to give me 12k. This is the amount of money that is assumed to be a landing cost, because it's going to buy the product and it's going to take it to my warehouse in China for 2,000 naira, which makes a total of 12,000 naira. Now, how much do I want to sell this product? I want to make a profit of 10% in this particular product, because I actually calculate my profit in percentage. Maybe I want to make 8.5 or 5%. Let's assume I'm making 10%. 10% is 1,200 naira. For 12,000 naira, that will give you 13,200 naira. So all you have to do is 13,200 naira divided by 2. So that's going to be 6,200. Sorry about that. That's going to be 6,200 naira per one. That means you are putting your products on pre-order without shipping fee for 6,200 naira. I am not trying to tell you to make your profit margin 10%. That's not what I am saying. This is just what I'm saying. Now, where this gets tricky is if you're a pre-order vendor, particularly if RMB is 210, ensure you do your calculation with extra 10 RMB. That means you're calculating for 220 bare minimum. It's in most cases, if RMB is going to increase, except during maybe festive period, that is going to increase on a crazy level. But if RMB is going to increase, you're going to have maybe increment of 5, 6, 3. So if you're doing your calculation, make sure you do your calculation with 10 RMB on top of the RMB you are dealing with. If maybe you're a pre-order vendor under another pre-order vendor, if you're doing your calculation, please ensure your profit margin is something reasonable, just in case if your vendor comes and tell you that the prices has changed. I don't know if this particular tutorial is very understandable. Please let me know in the comment section, and if you'd like me to make more videos like this, just tell me the particular thing you want me to talk about, and of course I'll do it for you. See you in my next video. Bye.